learning builds resilient and empathetic classrooms. Do you agree with this statement?
Yes, I do. So, in humans, resilience is one life skill which we are all born with, right? And but with time, with the kind of experiences that we get or the kind of exposure that we get, somewhere this process of being resilient at the time of crisis, we lack that, right? So I think that this is the right time, and this was during the lockdown and staying at home was the time that we could actually practice resilience, and we have seen even in our surroundings, in the people that I know or people that we know, that a lot of them were not able to have resilient ways of coming out of the lockdown, the effects of lockdown. Right? So forget about children. I'm talking about adults of our age who are finding it very difficult to come back and to bounce back and even to utilize the time that they had. So we had a lot of free time, and not all of them could actually utilize it. Some of them were overindulging into a lot of extra things which were probably not even required, and the others were feeling left out because they wanted to do what they were not able to do. So in the entire flux, we were all kind of still running a race. So we were still sitting in the comfort of our homes. We could have relaxed and focused on ourselves, be mindful of what we were doing, but still we were all running a race, right? Of attending webinars, talking in webinars, and yeah. So in fact, so when we talk about children, where do they learn being resilient from? They learn it from adults, right? So when you react in a way that you shouldn't be reacting, children, of course, are going to copy it. In one of my previous sessions, when I was talking to my teachers, this point came up that children are not able to respond in a good way to the current situation, and what do we do about it? So teachers only suggested that why don't you have these small group interactions with them where they feel comfortable. So as Rabia said, that it is important for us to reach out to them because, of course, they're teenagers or even high school children are not going to come to us, even college students for that matter. So surprisingly, now this is a case study to note that we made batches. We opened a platform for all the children of across various schools in North India to approach us, fill a form. They can pick up any name they want, and when they come and join us in the webinar, they can keep themselves. They can keep their cameras off, right? So that they can come and share whatever they want to share. They want to share their names, absolutely fine. They don't want to share, absolutely fine. So that was the platform where I got the best feedback, the most relevant feedback about the online teaching, what they were actually learning, and what they want from us. It was an eye opener. It was an eye opener for everybody. I'm yet to write an article over it. I'll definitely share it with eShiksha so that you know what is actually happening on the ground.
Yes, we
So
would love that. Sure.
children, they shared, high school children, they shared that, ma'am, we respect the effort that our teachers are making in coming online and giving us online classes, but they are boring because whatever they're teaching in 1.5 hours, we can go back to YouTube and somebody who's a better teacher, who's a better online equipped online teacher, does it in 15 minutes. We would rather like to go spend 15 minutes and learn it, and rather talk to our teachers about other things that we want to talk about. So what are the other things that they wanted to talk about? They wanted to talk about relationships. They wanted to talk about they're spending at home. They wanted to talk about the good things that they have.
Your voice is cracking and there are gaps, ma'am.
Oh, ma'am, I'm not able to hear you.
I'm saying your voice is cracking up. I think there is a net issue there.
Is it better now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So in this process, we were able to analyze that these children, a lot of them had achieved quite a lot apart from their academic achievements. So I know a few students who built up their own website. They were promoting artwork of their own fellow students, gaining money and giving it to an NGO. Then I have few children who collaborated to create a blog, and they were writing about amazing issues, which is there, but they were writing about some international issues. There was a child who was talking about child abuse and was actually raising a lot of other people to come and contribute, and that became a very popular channel. So these children were actually investing a lot of time. So these are the actual ways of being resilient. You see, they are giving us examples of how they are utilizing this as a life skill and coming out of it. Right, but on the other hand, we also have children who said that our parents are interfering. They walk into our bedrooms anytime they want, right? And we don't have the privacy. They don't want privacy for anything else, but just to be themselves. Even we also want that sometimes. You don't like being watched all the time, right? So these are the small little things that goes a long way. There is a study which was done in US among 1,500 teenage students, and in that study, it happened in the month of April. So they were trying to see the adverse effects of lockdown on children, and 70% of them had committed that they think that they have some kind of depression signs in them, right? We try to do something similar with our students here, but the unfortunate part was the parents started filling in the forms, right? So we couldn't actually gather the real information about in Indian students, but it gives us a broader spectrum, a broader vision of what children are actually undergoing. See, academics can be taken care. If you see online, there's a lot of online content which is available. If you utilize that online content along with your power of facilitation as a teacher, as a facilitator, right? If you combine the two things, you don't have to give every lecture in the remaining time. So what you do in the remaining time, you talk to children. You make sure that you make groups. See, people say that during online teachings, making a group is not possible. It is possible. Children know how to use Zoom. Children know how to